Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you today, quite the news went down yesterday. Quite the big news went down last night. I'm sitting there scrolling through Twitter, man, and just the bombshell drops on me. Roman Reigns out of WrestleMania 36, and man, everybody was shocked. Just outright shocked down the timeline last night. Everybody wondering what's going on. This came from Pro Wrestling Sheet, by the way. Give them the credit. And go on to say that, look, man, Roman Reigns just was not comfortable with the coronavirus pandemic going around. Look, obviously, we know the challenges that Roman Reigns faces. So he did not want to compromise himself. And first of all, I'm about to talk about, what should happen with the Universal Champion, what will happen with the Universal Championship, and why Vince McMahon needs to cancel future WWE programming. But we hop into this. First of all, I will say that, look, I do not blame Roman Reigns. I'm not going to be the person that's going to sit up here and get on Roman Reigns and whatnot. I'm not going to be the person that says, oh, well, he did it at the last minute. Man, so what? That man's health comes first. I got to say, personally, look, man, I got a low immune system. I'm worried about all this stuff. You can only imagine what that dude is going through and the amount of mental stress that he's going through. Canceling WrestleMania, you know that guy's the consummate professional, but you got to think about your body first, and that's what he did, and I don't blame him whatsoever. What should happen with the Universal Championship? Look, man, this is very easy. I asked the question on Twitter, got a lot of funny responses. We had some fun with it. And look, man, I got the response that I'm about to say right here. Here's what should happen. At the end of the day, man, it should be Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. Winner gets to face Bill Goldberg for the Universal Championship. At the end of the day, that is what should be happening here. And look, man, it's very simple. Bray Wyatt lost to Goldberg. You got a built-in storyline right then and there. Bray Wyatt comes out on top. Look, man, I gotta say that should happen, but here's what I think will happen. I think WWE, in a perfect world, that's what should happen. Here's what will happen. WWE has it already slated that, look, this was going to be Roman Reigns' time. So it is going to be Roman Reigns' time regardless. I don't think that they are going to want to put the title on Bray Wyatt, directly enter a feud with Roman Reigns and directly lose. I think that someone will be put into this matchup. Now, I think the taping has already taken place. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to spoil you because I don't know any spoilers. Someone is going to be put into this feud. Someone very random will be put into this feud. At the end of the day, I think this is just going to be a means to get the title back on Roman Reigns. I think that at the end of the day, that random person, I don't envision Goldberg sticking around after WrestleMania. So I think some random person is about to get a WWE Championship win at WrestleMania in order to transition it to Roman Reigns. Who is that person? You had a lot of people throwing out. I had last night, somebody said, what about Braun Strowman? And I said, you know what, man? That is pretty interesting. I wouldn't mind it if Braun Strowman got a championship win because, look, it doesn't make sense. Like, I get that, but the dude needs something to get back on track. He's been off track for the last couple of years now. So if anybody needs a world title win, it is Braun Strowman, and maybe he enters directly into a feud with Roman Reigns and he drops it, but at the least he wins a world title for once, a world title that he should have been won. So I can see that going down, but at the end of the day, we're not getting Bray Wyatt. That's just my opinion on this matter. All right, here, Bray Wyatt is not happening for as much as we want to see it. It's going to be Bray Wyatt, it's going to be John Cena, and that's going to be the match. That's just my opinion on what's going to happen. Now, here's another thing I want to get to. Look, man, Vince McMahon has to do the right thing. He has to cancel all of WWE programming, future WWE programming for the near future. At the end of the day, I seen something else. I seen another report come out, and I wanted to look it up, but I did not want to get spoiled. A report came out that wrestlers were sick and had fevers reaching in the coronavirus range. So, look, man, I've seen that, and I really want to give credit to whoever put the report out there, but look, I don't want to get spoiled. That's just where I'm at right now. But I seen that, and the first thing I said was, you know what, end it. It's time, man. Look, I know we say that in these days and ages, wrestling is our safe haven. We actually get to sit down Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or in whatever, to sit down and watch wrestling. But for WWE's sake, if someone is sick and they have Rey Mysterio and Dana Brooke, there was another report that said they had Rey Mysterio and Dana Brooke in quarantine. At this stage, man, WrestleMania is probably already taped. I get that. But WrestleMania needs to be it. Like, at the end of the day, this needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. I reckon it back to the NBA. Look, the NBA kept going on and on and on, and Rudy Gobert got sick, and he became the first person in the NBA to test for the coronavirus, positive for the coronavirus, and they shut it down right then and there. For WWE, man, if people are getting sick, if the report is true that people are getting sick, if people have fevers, look, you need to shut it down. Let's not be at the point to where we're thinking, okay, let's wait until somebody actually catches the coronavirus. Because look, man, this is crazy. If wrestlers are sick and have symptoms, they could be passing it on to God knows whomever. That's probably why Roman Reigns dropped out in the first place, and I can't blame him. So this needs to be shut down. I know Vince McMahon has this old school mentality that the show must go on. Look, man, this is different. This is not somebody getting an injury and then, you know, the show goes on. No, this is serious, and I don't really think, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that WWE isn't taking it seriously enough, because they are in some aspects. But if people are sick, this thing has to shut down, and it has to shut down now. That is just my opinion on the situation. At the end of the day, prayers up to Roman Reigns, man. I hope he's doing well. And this WrestleMania is gonna be, man, I don't know if I can say interesting, but it is, with all of the jumbled mess that is happening. First it gets moved to PC Center, then we found out that it's gonna be taped, and now Roman Reigns is out, and WWE didn't have the presence of mind to tape a Roman Reigns and Goldberg match when they had them there. Like, it is so much going on. I have no idea what it's going to be presented as the final result once we see it. It is going to be very intriguing to see what goes down. But from my case, from my aspect, from my thought, I think that the future WWE programming needs to be shut down. That's just my take on it. So let me know what you think on Twitter at 2SweetPod and at OMG Corey B on Roman Reigns on the Universal, on the championship, being who should replace Roman Reigns in the Universal Championship match. Excuse me. And your thoughts overall, let me know on Twitter at 2SweetPod and at OMG Corey B.